Hi students, welcome to second year commerce class. In our previous class we have discussed about importance of planning. As we know that in every system there may be some disadvantages also. When there are certain advantages, some drawbacks also will be there with a particular setup, with a particular system. We have learnt that planning is very useful to the organization. It will help us to focus on your objectives. It will help you to reduce cost in your business operations, that is economical operations. It will facilitate control, okay, and it will reduce the uncertainty, and that is risk can be reduced, and it will help you to tackle the changes in the environment. We have discussed it. So overall, always planning is very much useful to the individual person at every level, right from the student level to the employee level, and for business organizations also planning is very much useful. That's what we have discussed. So in this class we are going to discuss about limitations. So though it has got advantages, on the other hand some disadvantages are there, but don't think that being these advantages planning is to be avoided. No. In first year also I told you, for every system, even for sole trading, joint stock company, partnership, or for every system, we learn disadvantages only to understand how best we can use it and how we can overcome it. Limitations will not stop you to adopt that system. Limitations will help you to understand it in a better manner, and so that you can use it in an effective manner. Many a times while traveling on the roads, you will find some boards, go slow, accident prone spot. Have you observed? Some symbols will be kept on the national highway. That doesn't mean that you don't take the road. It means that you be careful. Similarly here, whenever we discuss about disadvantages, it doesn't mean that you don't use the system. As you see that for planning there are limitations, that doesn't mean that planning is waste. No. Planning has got some drawbacks. If you understand them, so when you apply that system, when you apply that scheme, you will overcome those problems. Clear? So, limitations, disadvantages of planning. The first one is uncertain future. Uncertain future. Many times I told you that in business, investment is made in the present, expecting the profits in the future. That means sales in the future. So we produce goods, expecting that in future they can be sold in the market. But we all know that future is uncertain. What is going to happen next year, we don't know. How the economic activity of the world takes place, we cannot guess in a better manner. Who has expected that COVID will affect this world in this manner? We have planned for so many students, offline classes, many admissions, number of lecturers, furniture, etc., in the summer itself. When March was going on, even before March only, we have planned our admission process, canvassing publicity in schools for taking the students. But what happened? This COVID pandemic has ruined all our plans. So this is the example. Many times we plan about our future. We expecting that proper income we will be earning what we are earning today. So today we see 80% of the people are struggling because of their instability in incomes. Many business units are being closed. It doesn't mean that every year it happens, but this type of uncertainties will arise. Sometimes cyclones will come, floods will come. Recently you have seen how floods have drastically damaged Hyderabad. So in such a case, planning will not work out. You plan to study 12 hours, 13 hours a day, but your all books were drowned in water and books are not available in shops. So, can you work out on your plan? No. So, that is the reason this uncertain future conditions, even the best plan is also not going to give good result. That means the entire process of preparing the plans and their execution will be waste in the conditions of uncertain future. Okay. Second one is rigid. This rigidity means what? Lack of flexibility. Rigidity means lack of flexibility. See, lack of flexibility sometimes irritates, sometimes wastes our resources. Okay, if the timing, resources, subject is not flexible, then sometimes it will create some problems. See, for example, on a particular day, the college management has planned to teach principles of management, 14 principles of management I have to teach. It is a very important topic. That is the planning of the college. But when I enter the class, out of 80 students, there are only 14 students. So if I teach this important topic to the 14 students, remaining 64 students, 66 students will miss the class. So then what I have to do? I have to change my activity. That means I have to change my task. That rather than teaching importance, principles of management, a very important topic, I can teach a normal topic, which is very easy, and even though the students who have missed out can cope up with that. So that way, if that flexibility is given to me, it will work out. But unfortunately, if the college is very strict, it is specifying that no, you have to teach only that topic, means many students will miss. When sometimes it may irritate me also. So there should be some flexibility, not only in college, in every level, in business organizations, with respect to production, with respect to sales. Always you cannot fix the targets. For example, you see particular marketing executives, you have fixed the target, but on that particular day it is raining heavily. So you have to change the plan. The employee, the executive cannot get the same target what he was getting on the normal day. He cannot operate the same sales. So ultimately that day the sales will be zero because he cannot reach the customers on time due to heavy rain. If you say that no, you have to get the target, that then only I can give the remuneration, means what does it mean? So it is foolishness. So planning sometimes fixes the employees to work only in a particular path, only in a particular manner. Sometimes that may waste your resources and sometimes that may give you adverse effects. See, for example, you are moving on a road. At some point, at some point, there is a traffic jam. If you have got alternative ways, either leftwards or rightwards, and you know the alternative direction, if you take that road, you may reach your destination. Suppose if I say that no, don't take right, don't take left, you be in your path only, that means you will stuck in traffic jam and it may take 2 to 3 hours to clear that. So that will be the loss. So always planning should be flexible. So but planning fixes the employee to work only in a specified path. Sometimes that may adversely affect your organization. That is the second disadvantage. Third one is expensive. Expensive means preparation of plans is not the job of ordinary employees. For preparing various plans for various departments, you require the services of experts. Okay, for example, you have to construct a house, for which you need the plan of an architect. So, will the architect provide the plan at free of cost? Yes, he may give you an idea of utilizing your available land, your resource in a better manner, where you have to construct the staircase and rooms, etc., etc. A beautiful plan he may give, but he is not going to give his skill, his experience at free of cost. He charges. Similarly, for business organization, to prepare plans for various departments, you have to spend lot of money. So the small organizations which are not having heavy investment will struggle to prepare plans for their departments. So planning is a expensive task. One way it will go for waste of expenditure. Next comes investment. Investment means most of the times the managers of a business organization are focusing, or say they are concentrating only on recovery of investment. Whatever they have invested in the past in a particular area, so they focus how to recover the investment rather than executing the plans for future. So even though you prepare best plans, so the concentration on the investment made in the past, on purchase of machinery or setting up infrastructure or on research and development, whatever the money you have invested. So generally the managers will try to recover that investment what they have made in the past. So recovery of investment is the major obstacle for planning for the future. Next, external factors. What do you mean by external factors? You will better learn your economics. The factors which are not under our control are called as external factors. Example, the taste and preferences, the fashions of customers, government policies, international environment, international trade relations, and the workers' union activities. All these are called as external factors. So even though you plan, you are not going to control them. You don't know what is going to happen, how the government is going to change the policy. For example, with a lot of expectations, many people have planned their educational institutions. But you see, recently Government of India has come out with a new educational policy 2020, with which the entire education sector, education system is going to change. Class levels, examination conducting, stream, everything is changed. So that means these people have to change again. But you have invested some crores of rupees, you have planned a junior college, means maybe for after 2 years, a junior college may not be working because the government has made it 10+2 category, no intermediate. So 11th class, 12th class will be there, high school is starting at 7th. So I think you might have gone through that new education policy. So certain government policies are not under our control. People, what do they expect? How come their taste and priority changes is not in your control. So in such a cases, even the best plan is not going to work out. Understand now? So these are the 5 limitations of planning. With this, planning is completed. In the next class, we will go for organizing.